What's up, YouTube? Once again, it's your boy Cordy Boy. I've had a couple friends ask me what I want to do with this channel, what the purpose of this is, so I felt like this video was warranted, to provide a little backstory as to what I think this channel should be, and give a little story as to who the man is behind the microphone. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in Texas, went to the United States Air Force Academy, and graduated in the class of 2018. And after graduation, I went to pilot training at Vance Air Force Base. A little bit about my flying credentials. While at the Air Force Academy, I flew sailplanes and was technically, at the time, one of the youngest instructor pilots in the Air Force at 19, 20 years old, flying with a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds doing loops and aerobatics and all kinds of cool stuff. After graduation, I went on down to Pueblo, Colorado to go fly the DA-20 Eclipse as part of my IFT, which is a program to get us spun up on how to aviate in a military context. After IFT, I came to Vance Air Force Base in Enid, Oklahoma, and I flew the T-6 Texan II, which is an awesome 1200 horsepower turboprop aircraft. We go up to 300 knots, do loops, aerobatics, spins, stalls, falls, do a little bit of formation stuff. It was a really great experience. After T-6s, I got selected to go fly the T-38, which is the Air Force's primary jet trainer, to train our future fighter, bomber, and instructor pilots. That was a really great opportunity, and I had a lot of really fun experiences out of that aircraft. And then after graduation, as I got to see my friends go off to fly some of the coolest aircraft ever designed, I was the only one selected to fly the F-22 Raptor, the pinnacle of human engineering, the most amazing, most balanced aircraft ever designed. It was a dream come true. I loved every minute of it. It was an amazing aircraft to fly. I'll tell you that. Nah, just kidding. So as I got to see all of my classmates go off and kill bad guys, flying the F-16, A-10, flying C-17s, AC-130s, I was the only one in my class to get selected to come back and be an instructor pilot in the T-6. So in November of 2019, I officially got my wings, became an Air Force pilot, and was immediately sent on down to Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio for pilot instructor training. So while I was down there in San Antonio, I started realizing what a big deal this was. For the first time ever, I was flying and I didn't have anybody in my backseat with the exception of sailplanes. I didn't have anybody in my backseat to tell me that's a good idea, that's not a good idea. Hey, the rules technically say this, so you're not allowed to do that. I'm totally responsible for this multi-million-dollar aircraft, totally responsible for this student's life, and I just felt like there was a lot I didn't really know. As I started, taking on more and more responsibility as being the sole pilot in command, I started realizing there are some things you just don't ask questions about because it's assumed that you already know what you're doing. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Cordy Boy. In the editing process, listening to that statement sounded very wrong, so I decided to leave it in and qualify that statement by saying, once you have wings on your chest, two pilots talking to each other, it's just assumed that you know what you need to know about procedures and handling the aircraft. And it is acceptable to ask those questions, but once you get to higher level flying, you're talking about questions on how to execute the mission, how to teach students, how to drop bombs, how to get the mission done, not how do I fly planes, right? So just wanted to add that little point of clarification. Back to the story. Every now and again, somebody would ask me, hey, what are you looking up? And I would tell them, I shot this approach and I started thinking, if you see the outer marker every time you're at the final approach fix, could you just use the outer marker to identify the FAF? And that got people asking, I don't know, can you? How do you know that? So I looked into it, I found the answers, and I started realizing that, man, everybody else is curious about these exact same things. At that point, I began to realize that there's a bunch of questions and a bunch of things that I never really got answered in pilot training that I should have, and so that's why I created this channel, is that maybe some kid in pilot training comes across one of my videos and learns some piece of obscure information that helps them get out of a bad situation or helps inform them and allows them to make better decisions while in the plane. In addition to that, I think it's a good way for me to document my studying, for me to go back and review the stuff that I've studied. So if I can make these very boring videos, I know, just very detailed, provide annotations and stuff like that, if I ever have a question, I want to be able to go back to this YouTube page, look up the video, search what I'm looking for, and then be able to find the source document and reread that myself. Yeah, so that's about it. Sorry to everybody that clicked this video wanting to know what it's like to fly F-22. You know, I just got to clickbait, got to get those views up, got to get those subscribers up. So with that being said, please like and subscribe. You already know what's coming up. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to hear about in the future, and till next time, see ya.